Adrian Cole had a perfect life, a famous career, and a hidden secret. Sophia Reyes trusted him, until one hospital night exposed a shocking truth that changed everything. Asterisk, asterisk. In the heart of Manhattan, Dr. Adrian Cole had built a reputation that many doctors only dreamed of achieving. He was considered one of the most talented heart surgeons in the city, a man whose steady hands had performed complex operations and given hope to families during their most difficult moments. Inside the hospital, his name represented success, discipline, and dedication. Outside the operating room, Adrian lived a life that appeared equally perfect. He had been married to Claire for 15 years, and their relationship seemed like a picture of stability. She had stood beside him through years of medical training, financial struggles, and the demanding schedule that came with becoming a famous surgeon. However, behind closed doors, their marriage had slowly changed. Long work hours, emotional distance, and the pressure of Adrian's career created a growing gap between them. During this period, Adrian became closer to Sophia Reyes, a Filipina nurse working in the cardiac department. Sophia had moved to New York with dreams of creating a better life. She was admired by her co-workers for her kindness, patience, and commitment to caring for patients. Their connection started through long hospital shifts and shared experiences. They understood the stress and emotional weight of working in a high-pressure medical environment. Over time, a professional relationship became something more personal. Adrian believed he could separate his private choices from his public image. Sophia also hoped the situation would remain hidden. But secrets inside a hospital rarely stay buried forever. Small changes in their behavior began attracting attention, and the perfect image Adrian had created started showing cracks. Neither of them knew that their hidden shocking hospital tragedy that would change their lives forever. The relationship between Adrian and Sophia continued quietly as they tried to keep their connection away from the attention of others. Both understood the risks, especially because they worked in the same hospital and Adrian had a family life that could be destroyed if the truth became public. They believed they could control the situation, but the pressure of hiding their relationship slowly began affecting their decisions. Inside the cardiac department, people started noticing changes. Adrian, who was usually focused and confident, appeared distracted during important moments. Sophia, known for her calm personality, seemed more emotional and uncertain. Their co-workers noticed that something had changed, but no one knew the full story behind it. As the months passed, the secret became harder to protect. Their private meetings, unusual schedules, and growing closeness created questions among hospital staff. A few employees began connecting small details that suggested something was happening between the respected surgeon and the young nurse. The situation became even more complicated when someone discovered evidence that revealed their connection. Private messages and hidden communication created suspicion and tension throughout the hospital. Adrian's carefully built reputation was suddenly at risk, while Sophia worried about losing the career she had worked so hard to create. However, the affair was not the only mystery developing inside the hospital. Around the same time, unusual activity involving confidential patient information began appearing in hospital systems. Gangdan. A deeper mystery was beginning to unfold behind the hospital's closed doors. One night, during a particularly busy shift at the Manhattan Hospital, an unexpected incident changed everything. The cardiac department was filled with pressure as doctors and nurses worked through multiple emergencies. Adrian was handling a serious patient case when a sudden complication occurred that shocked the entire medical team. The hospital immediately began reviewing every detail of what happened. Medical decisions, patient records, and staff movements were carefully examined to understand how the situation had gone wrong. For a hospital known for its high standards, the incident created concern and uncertainty among everyone involved. While the investigation started, another troubling event happened. Sophia did not return to work after that night. Her sudden absence surprised her coworkers because she had always been dependable and rarely missed a shift without explanation. Her disappearance created even more questions about what had happened during those final hours at the hospital. Investigators began looking into the timeline of events. They discovered that some details did not match the information originally provided. Security footage showed unusual activity in restricted areas of the hospital, raising concerns about whether someone had entered places they were not supposed to access. Adrian's connection to Sophia and the patient case placed him under intense attention. The same person who had once been praised for saving lives was now being examined as part of a growing investigation. Rumors spread quickly, and the hospital environment changed. Staff members who once admired Adrian began questioning what they thought they knew about him. The affair that had been hidden for so long was now connected to a much bigger situation. As investigators continued searching for answers, they realized missing information and unanswered questions that suggested someone had been trying to keep the truth buried. As the investigation continued, new information began changing the way everyone viewed the events inside the hospital. What first appeared to be a personal scandal involving Adrian and Sophia slowly revealed a much deeper problem hidden beneath the surface. Investigators discovered that Sophia had been keeping records of unusual activities before she disappeared. She had noticed small inconsistencies in hospital procedures and patient information that did not seem normal. Instead of ignoring these concerns, she quietly collected details because she believed something serious was happening within the department. The evidence showed that Sophia's connection with Adrian was only one part of the story. Their secret relationship had attracted attention and created rumors, but it had also distracted people from looking at other problems inside the hospital. While everyone focused on the surgeon's private life, someone else had been operating in the background. Further examination of hospital systems revealed that certain records had been changed and important information had been hidden. Someone had manipulated details to avoid responsibility for actions that could have serious consequences. Adrian's situation became more complicated. His personal choices had damaged his reputation and affected his family. But investigators started realizing that the tragedy was not simply caused by the affair. There was another person involved who had taken advantage of the confusion surrounding him and Sophia. The investigation also revealed that Sophia had unknowingly placed herself in a dangerous position by searching for answers. Her efforts to understand what was happening brought her closer to a truth that someone wanted to remain hidden. The case that began as a story of betrayal and secrecy, people working inside a place where every decision could affect someone's life. As investigators continued examining the hospital tragedy, the case became more complicated with every new discovery. The evidence began connecting different events that had seemed unrelated at first. What looked like a simple scandal involving Adrian and Sophia was slowly revealed to be part of a much larger situation inside the hospital. The investigation showed that someone had been using the attention surrounding Adrian's personal life as a distraction. While people were focused on the affair, important mistakes and suspicious actions were being hidden from everyone's view. The person responsible had carefully avoided suspicion by allowing the rumors about Adrian and Sophia to become the main focus. Sophia's collected information became a major part of the investigation. Her notes and observations helped investigators understand the timeline of events and uncover details that had previously been overlooked. The evidence she left behind showed that she had been trying to understand the unusual activities happening around her. Adrian was forced to face the consequences of his choices. His years of success and respect could not protect him from the damage caused by his secret relationship. The people who once admired him began questioning his judgment, and his personal mistakes affected every part of his life. The hospital also faced difficult questions about its own failures. Concerns were raised about how certain actions went unnoticed and why problems inside the department were not discovered earlier. As the investigation moved closer to the truth, one final piece of evidence remained missing. Without it, the full story could not be completed. Investigators knew that the last discovery would reveal who had caused the tragedy and why the events inside the hospital had unfolded. The final breakthrough in the investigation came when authorities discovered the missing evidence that connected all the unanswered questions. For months, the case had been filled with confusion, rumors, and uncertainty. But the new information finally revealed how the events inside the hospital were connected. The person responsible had carefully planned every step, believing that attention would remain focused on Adrian and Sophia's relationship. The affair had created enough distraction for important details to be ignored, allowing the real problem to remain hidden for much longer than anyone expected. As investigators reviewed the evidence, they discovered that Adrian was not responsible for every part of the tragedy. His choices had created serious consequences and damaged the trust people had placed in him. But the situation was far more complicated than the public originally believed. Sophia's actions were also viewed differently after the truth came out. She was no longer seen only as someone involved in a secret relationship. Investigators realized that she had been trying to uncover information that could expose the hidden problems inside the hospital. The discovery changed everything. The people involved had to face the results of their decisions, and the hospital was forced to accept that mistakes and failures had allowed the situation to become worse. Adrian's career and personal life were permanently affected. The reputation he had spent years building was damaged, and his marriage could not survive the events that followed. The case ended with consequences for those responsible and major changes within the hospital. New safety procedures were introduced, and the tragedy became a reminder that hidden actions can eventually come to light, no matter how carefully someone tries to cover them. Years after the Manhattan Hospital tragedy, the case remained one of the most unforgettable events connected to the medical community. The story was remembered not only because of the shocking discoveries, but also because of the many lives affected by the choices made before the tragedy happened. Adrian's once respected image was completely changed. The surgeon who had been admired for his talent and dedication became known for the mistakes that followed his secret relationship and the consequences that came with it. His professional achievements could not erase the damage caused by the decisions he made. Sophia's story was remembered in a different way. She became connected to a case that started with secrecy but ended with the truth being revealed. Her actions helped uncover information that may have remained hidden, showing how one person's search for answers can change the outcome of a much larger situation. The hospital also changed after the investigation. Leaders introduced stronger systems to prevent similar problems from happening again. More attention was placed on accountability, transparency, and making sure concerns were taken seriously before they became bigger issues. The tragedy became a lesson about trust and responsibility. It showed that even people with successful careers and respected positions can face consequences when personal choices and professional duties become mixed together. The story was never only about an affair between a surgeon and a nurse. It was about secrets, decisions, and the chain of events that followed when important truths were ignored. Behind the walls of a hospital built to protect lives, a hidden story unfolded that changed everyone involved. In the end, the greatest discovery was not only who was responsible, but how easily a single secret could create consequences